You see, most founders pour all their time and their attention and their energy into acquiring new customers. And then they wonder why it feels like their brand is grinding them into the ground. It's as if they're in a race that it doesn't matter how fast they run, you can just never win, right? It's not their product causing this, it's not their margins that's causing this, or even their ads. It's the fact that they've completely ignored the most profitable asset that they actually have in the business. For those that don't know, my name's Sasha, and for almost a decade, I've been helping founders start and scale their e-commerce businesses. I've built 2 7-figure e-commerce brands myself. I've also helped my clients generate over $185 million in revenue for their businesses. And what I'm going to share with you in this video is the single most overlooked strategy that I've seen across almost every single new brand that I've ever worked with. I promise you, it's not flashy, it's not expensive, and it's a little bit unsexy. And this is the reason that most people ignore this thing and they go straight back into what's the next hook I can use. But when you do use it, what happens is the customers that you do generate, they never leave. And then secondarily, your bank account starts to fill up like you wouldn't imagine. I thought that might get your attention. You see, most brands are caught up in what I call this expensive game, spending thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on ads, paying influencers crazy amounts of money to promote their products, doing collaborations just to get the next customer, right? And I get it. I've been there, I've done it for a long damn time. I've spent tens of millions of dollars on Facebook ads alone, so I understand the game and the hunt. Now, in chasing new customers, what happens is you kind of overlook this asset that you've already got, and it's your existing customers. And this is a huge mistake. Statistically speaking, and I've researched this across hundreds of brands inside of my community, right? Repeat customers make up between 30 to probably 50% of revenue, but they also make up for between 60 and 80% of the cash. So a smaller slice of your customer base is generating most of the cash in your bank balance. And yet most brands are burning their budget to continue acquiring strangers while the people in their list, they get neglected. And these customers, they end up leaving and going to different companies and buying different products because they feel like they've just been forgotten about, right? With no reason to stay loyal to the brand. And this is why it's so expensive to continue playing this acquisition game. It's built on this belief that attracting new customers is the only way to grow and the only way to stand out in an overcrowded market. And look, part of that is true, but you gotta fix the freaking leaky bucket. And as a new brand owner, it's really easy to believe that success comes from being the most famous, largest, fastest growing brand out there. It's like fame and fast growth at all costs equals I'm winning the game. But it's the wrong strategy for you because it's so insanely expensive. Brands that follow this model, they're generally losing between $29 to $40 on average on every single customer they acquire. If your product costs, let's say $50 to $60, you've already burnt through half of that just on acquisition cost. And that's before factoring any form of other costs, any form of operational expenses, and you've got nothing left over. Now, this is the exact reason that so many e-commerce founders feel stuck. They increase ad spend one month, profit goes through the floor. Try next month, profit goes through the floor, and they don't know what to do. Truth is, it's the wrong game when you're starting out. Like I said, you've got to fix the leaky bucket. You don't need to do what the big brands do, right? Because you don't have their big budgets and you don't have their massive investor capital. So instead, what you need to do is you need to make more money, have less stress, and build a stronger business by focusing on what I call a cult-like customer base. No one's talking about how to do this for an e-commerce brand because it's much more sexy to talk about the new TikTok ad strategy or the new Facebook marketplace. Who knows, right? But I'm going to show you in this video exactly how to build a customer base that keeps coming back. A cult-like customer is one who is a loyal follower of your brand, who views themselves as part of your community instead of just being a transactional consumer. These customers are everything. Without them, your brand doesn't grow and it doesn't last. So let's break this down real quick because I want to answer the question first. What makes someone stay loyal? Because it has nothing to do with discounts, free shipping, and it's definitely not running the same predictable promotions that everybody else is doing. We've got our Black Friday sale. That stuff, it fades so quickly, people forget about it, right? What creates loyalty is something far less flashy, but it's way more powerful. And what it is over-delivering. Now, over-delivering isn't about giving more products or adding extra perks at the cost of your cash flow. It's about creating an unforgettable moment where your brand gives them a reason to remember you. It's about giving them a story that shapes how they see themselves, one that makes them feel like they've had some special moment in their life through the purchasing of your product. And it starts to become part of who they are. I only use that product. That is the type of relationship that has the individual continue coming back. And everything starts with figuring out how to over deliver in the ways that truly matter to your customers. Because I tell you what, some brands, they try and over deliver in ways that the customers don't even notice. So how do you start over delivering today? First things first, and this is what you should be doing, absolutely unquestionably should be doing, is your post-purchase welcome flow. Now, what I'm going to tell you in this next step is something very unscalable. You can't do this forever. If you're between 10 and 100K a month, you must do this until you can no longer do it and it is so economically unviable, it would be just stupidity to continue. You see, the thing is, the most neglected moment in all of e-commerce is 24 hours after someone buys from you. Because what happens in those 24 hours is the buyer's remorse and the question of, did I make the right decision, is at the highest. The customer's asking themselves, is this product gonna work for me? Did I just waste my money? Is it going to arrive? Do I really need that kind of expensive? The fuel prices are quite expensive right now. And this is the window that most brands, they completely waste. What most brands do when someone buys from them in the next 24, 48 hours is they send them a standard confirmation, maybe a thank you, maybe a shipping tracking, and that's about it. But you have the chance to make that first 24 hours one of the most transformative experiences that that customer has ever experienced. Your first email after a purchase should read like an invitation. Make them feel like, congratulations on entering this world, not just like, here's your details for the product you've just purchased. What I recommend for all of my community members is send a 30-second personal video from you on the camera saying, hey, thanks so much for your purchase. I just wanted to say a massive thank you. This is exactly why we built the brand, because we want to help people just like you. I'm so fantastically pumped that you purchased a product. I can't wait for you to get it. I'm going to be packing it and shipping it out this afternoon. You will remember this moment forever. And like I said, you're not going to be able to do this forever, right? When you get to 600, who knows, hundreds of orders a day, you're not going to be able to. But right now, if you're focused on obsessing on that customer and keeping that customer, you absolutely can. And the brand equity that you build by doing this now, no form of advertising budget can solve for this later on. And don't get fooled by the myth that people don't read those emails anyway. It's not a good idea to send one. As someone who's run 4, 5, 6 different businesses, multiple e-commerce businesses, seen people use this exact strategy across hundreds of different businesses, the effect on the community that it builds is world-class. In fact, people always read emails in the first 2 weeks after they purchase. Right? So if you deliver with this first email, they will likely read all of the emails with so much more enthusiasm and, oh my goodness, I can't wait to read the next one. And look, of course, you can go one step further and you can put something unexpected in the package itself, a handwritten note, maybe just a little chocolate bar or something like that. But more important than that, what people value today is personalization, which is why that personalized video message, my goodness, it does transformative things. However, small things that you can pop into that package makes them think, wow, these people really care. And then from there, what you can do is you can invite them into a WhatsApp, a Discord community, maybe a school community, and you can start to gather those members into where your brand community exists. I personally invite all of my members to the Ecom Capital School community, where I share all of the tips, advice, and information that you can access in relation to scaling e-commerce brands, because belonging is what keeps people around long after that product's well and truly gone. Now, Welcome emails, they're a great way to start building that customer base, but you also need to make a long-term relationship with your customers. So the second step is to map the entire customer journey, right? Think about what happens after someone buys from you, right? They place the order, they wait for the package, they receive the package, they use the product for the first time. Maybe they take it to the gym, maybe they take it to a trip with their friends. See that entire process from end to end, like a little bouncing ball. Then they start to see results. They feel attached to it. After a few months, maybe it starts to empty, maybe it starts to wear out. At some point, they're going to need to buy it again. And every single one of those moments across that journey is an opportunity for you to touch, interact, and communicate with them. And most brands only show up at 2 of them. Order confirmation, hey, fantastic, here you go. And secondarily, here's another product. You use this 20% discount code and buy again, right? What that does is it leaves the vast majority of the relationship with that customer completely empty. What you want to do instead is map that entire journey and then communicate with your customer at every stage based on where they are during that journey. When they've had the product for 2 weeks, ask them how the product is. Ask them how it's going. Ask them to share a tip, or perhaps share a tip with them that helps them to get more out of the product. When you know they might be likely to take it somewhere or use it in a particular location, send them something relevant to that specific moment. What you're looking for in this communication is relevance. And when you know the product is getting close to running out, reach out before they even think about it. What you're looking for here is, how do I continue occupying space in their mind before they have to think about it? Use every tool available: email, SMS, voicemail drops, social, DMs, automations. The more touch points you can build through this journey, the better. Like I said, occupy space in the mind so they don't even need to think about you at all. And this is what separates a brand that is probably forgotten the next day from a brand that people remain loyal to and only buy from over and over again. The fact that you were there communicating with them, solving problems with them, explaining steps, taking it to their friends, all of those things, occupying space in their mind, they will only purchase from you. So when you do step 1 and step 2, you'll be 80% of the way there, and you'll be so much further ahead than most brands. However, what we need to do with this last 20% is the feedback, the engagement, the comments that your customers give you. We want to turn that into what I call the newsroom strategy. Every day, your customers are sending you emails, they're sending you DMs, they're replying to your comments. They might be interacting wherever they're interacting. Most brands, they screenshot the good ones, make them feel nice and warm inside, and then hide the bad ones. The newsroom brands, they use every single one of those moments as an opportunity for content and communication. When a customer leaves a great review, post it on your stories, and don't just tag them. Build a piece of content around it. Shoot a video that communicates to that point. Explain why that specific result that person had matters. Run that as an ad. When someone sends a negative comment saying, why is this so expensive? The product didn't work. I heard this stuff is made in China. Don't hide that stuff, right? Address it, speak to it, screenshot it, tag the person, put it in the content, shoot an ad around it, answer it honestly, and push that into your ad account. What you're doing here is you're not just responding to one person, you're having this real-time conversation and you're addressing the doubt in people's mind throughout what's actually happening in the marketplace. You're overcoming objections live before people have even had a chance to ask them, right? You're showing your existing customers that you listen to them, you respond to them, and that you care. When a customer gives you feedback that you actually use, tell your whole audience. This is like this live transaction feed where the more they give, the more you use. And you can say things like, hey, look, I just got this message from Sarah last month. Check this out. What she was saying here is she wished the product came in a smaller size. So what we did is, here is our newest release of the product. Sarah, this one's for you. This is what our brand does. And so when you do this, it makes Sarah feel like she's part of building the brand. And now she is loyal to that brand so much further beyond just free shipping, discounts, or anything of that nature. This is the compounding interest that accumulates because of over-delivering, and it pays dividends in every single direction. And this is how you can build a 100% cult-like customer base. So you don't need 1 million followers, celebrity endorsements, or an ad in the AFL Grand Final. You need people who would never buy from anybody else. You need a cult-like customer base, which you can get by over-delivering to them in the ways that I described in this video, because that's how you build something that lasts for a long time and makes so much more money. And if you're serious about building a brand that actually lasts and implementing some of these strategies with team members that can help you to execute these things and hold you accountable, you can always join some of our memberships inside of Ecom Capital. There's school communities, there's a calendar link below this video. You can speak to some of my team members about the current problems that you're experiencing with your business and how you'd like to maybe solve them using some of the things that we've spoken about during this piece of content. The link is in the description below this video. Head down there and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.